Hello and welcome to PaxAriaGaming. This is Reg with bonus episode 2 of Crimson Desert. Today we are going to be playing as Damiane for the first time in a long time. In fact, the only time we've played as Damiane is when we've had to as part of the game's quests. There were some very specific Damiane things that we had to do, as there was with Unka. And then the next episode, bonus episode 3, we will be playing as Unka. So it'll be a little different. I'll tell you the things I discovered along the way, since this is a little bit of a blind playthrough as Damiane. I haven't upgraded any of her skills since in-game. I hadn't changed any of her weapons or any of those kinds of things. And did not do that before this first segment. I did do it before the second segment. So there are two major things that Damiane is going to do in this episode. Basically clear 2 camps that we'd already cleared before, since there were no camps left to clear after Cliff finished his story. And of course, I helped him along with a lot of exploring. So this is where I ended my last non-recorded playthrough in doing the Abyss Nexus quests. I'm up to, I think it's 30 of 40. I did tell you guys I would show you once we got to the end. So when I get to number 40, I will show you guys and we can get the true ending of the game. But until then, we're going to be doing 1 Damiane and 1 Unka quest. So they'll probably come out a week apart because I'll be traveling in between. And then probably maybe the same week as the Unka quest or the Unka episode, or the week after, we will have completed the game. And then you'll get to see the true ending. But because I haven't played as either of these 2 characters, Damiane or Unka, everything feels clunky. It's almost like going back to the beginning and when we started as Cliff, just getting used to the controls. She has a horse. I think I changed her outfit in the previous time that I played as her during one of the quests. She doesn't look dramatically different. I've seen some people have her really outfitted in almost Amazonian armor. I didn't do that. I haven't invested any time into Damiane, and I probably, just to be honest, I probably will not. The 2 main game goals I have left are moving my camp to Paylone and getting the true ending. This was one of them too. Playing as Unka and playing as Damiane was also 2 of my goals. So I'm meeting one of those today. The next one you'll see will be the following week, and then after that, the true ending and the move to Paylone.
When the body feels weak, that brew is the best.
We'll start with a little mini quest. So we have to go find centipedes for this guy.
A herbal tonic should fix me right up. You know that long bug with all the legs? Steep it in strong liquor, and within a sip or 2, your strength returns quickly.
Actually,
but it's poisonous, and catching it isn't easy, so it's quite rare. Besides, 1 or 2 aren't enough. You need several to get the full effect. So, if you happen to see any, could you bring them back alive?
So we need 5 of them, actually. And they're easy to catch. You go to the quest marker and you just find them scampering around the ground. Now it's raining here in Paylone. It probably would have been a good idea to check out a necklace that I think is supposed to stop it from raining, but I didn't do that. So we're still picking up bounties. As much as it's not one of my favorite things to do in the game. Initially it was, but that was when I thought there would be only a few of them. And when you add up all the bounties in all the regions, it must be over 100 of them. It's like, wow. So I will not be doing that. Although I don't know. We'll see. The likelihood is that I will not be doing that. I did say that Neo 3 would likely be my next game, unless I'm missing something. So over the next week or so, I'll do a little scan to make sure that that is the best one that I want to play. There are plenty of games out there. I'm just not interested in them. Neo, I played the first two, and I enjoyed it very much, so it may be that one. Unless there's something coming out in the next couple of weeks that I've missed. But yeah, this area, and you don't, unlike the little quest where you were doing the research and you needed to find a particular type of clam, and you had to wait for them to squirt water out of the ground or something like that, which was incredibly difficult to find those things. This one's easy. You just walk around and walk slowly, because there are other little insects out here, and they'll all show up. Hey, I guess there's no reason why you can't pick them all up. I'm just not sure they'll all be useful. And you can stay within the little search area, and you should be able to find them all. Yeah, I don't know what we would use salamanders for. I probably should have picked a few of them up, just in case somewhere along the line someone asks me to do a quest related to salamanders. Oh, the abyss gate that Cliff is stuck at at the moment is the riddle gate. And we're doing them in chronological order. I mean, some of them were done because we did some of them in game, but there is a particular order to them. There are nodes that are all connected, and so I'm just doing them in that order. And I would say that unless you get stuck on one from a puzzle standpoint, you can probably complete them in 30 minutes or less, and complete each one in 30 minutes or less. We're going to take these centipedes back to the guy. If you die right after and they usually put the fast travel points in strategic places. So typically it's at the start of the next node. So if you die trying to get across an area before you get to that next fast travel point, it can be a little annoying trying to figure out exactly where you were. So it makes sense to bring your notebook and keep notes about where you are up there in the beyond. At least I found that helpful. If, on the other hand, I see another bounty just popped up, we don't have to go all the way back. The guy's assistant is over here, so we're just going to hand this off to the assistant after we get the bounty. If you're lucky enough to have an accident right after you find the fast travel point, let's say you're trying to force palm your way somewhere and you ended up falling, you can actually hit the fast travel while you're falling to the ground, and it'll bring you right back to that fast travel point, instead of waiting until you get all the way down there. There's no reason to do that. Yeah, I don't know why Damiane came in here. She wasn't listening to me. This guy is right here.
Hello. Without my tonic, did you really catch 5 of them?
Yep.
Why, that's enough to fill a whole jar. Such a rare find. Well, I'll have no worries this winter.
Sounds horrible. Liquor and
Thank you
centipede juice.
so much.
Okay. Now that we got the palate cleanser out of the way, we're going to go on to quests where we actually have to fight. The sword and gun that Damiane has, I changed during the game a while back when I played as her. I don't know whether there are better weapons for her. I'm assuming there are, or you can certainly refine the ones that you have. So in order for me to get something for her to do, I had to go in, change the settings to re-blockade particular areas. And once I'm done playing as her and as Unka, I'm turning that off again because I actually like the map to look like Cliff has done his job by completing a lot of this stuff. Although I guess we don't have to really worry about it because we don't have to fight any of them. We can just fast travel, just basic... Sorry about the fishing pole. I did a little fishing quest for someone as well, but I edited that out. This is taking forever to catch a pike. But I forgot to take that off of my my carry inventory. Interestingly, she has all of the elements unlocked. Actually, you know what?
Making me work for it, eh?
It may be because as I was going through the Abyss Nexus as Cliff,
You shit!
I finally unlocked wind and lightning. So I have them all unlocked for him now. And I have to be honest, I sort of wish I had done a lot of that in-game. You could have certainly gotten the imbue elements much earlier if you'd just gone and found those items. But you don't have, I guess you don't have to in-game, right? There's no quest that takes you to find them. I mean, the quest that took you to the Nexus, I mean, you can, the thing is, then these Nexus gates, when you unlock one of those nodes, there's always another Abyss gate, right? You see it in the distance, you just never bother going through it. If you go through it, you would find yourself going through another Abyss puzzle and completing it if you actually wanted to finish it. So you could have incidentally completed all of the Abyss Nexus puzzles. I think part of it for me was I was waiting for the game to pull them into a quest. I didn't realize that so few of them would be part of quests.
You should have run away.
Yeah, it seems like there are a zillion people at this little blockaded area. We're not going to worry about tearing down all of the buildings like we did with Cliff. I actually enjoyed doing a lot of this stuff. Because it reminds me of a little bit of the sort of Assassin's Creed, you know, clearing a camp. Some of those other games that had that as well. And it was easier to do it stealthily in Assassin's Creed. You have a bow and arrow, you just go up and you pick people off one at a time. And in this game, I usually have a little bit more of a strategy than the one I have now, which is sort of running into the middle of all of this. I usually start at one end, like the east or the west, and just work my way across. And I don't remember, to be honest with you, I don't remember doing this one as Cliff. I'm sure I did, but I don't really remember. I probably came in from above up in the cliffs. So I probably didn't come from the same direction she came in because, of course, the fast travel point was already unlocked when she came. When Cliff would have arrived, that would not have been true. It looks like she has help. I never did get one of those cuckoo birds as a mount, and I probably will not. I do have some other ones that I need to unlock, like a wolf and what's the other one? A warthog or boar or whatever the creature is. So yeah, I have a couple of them. I just haven't gone to the witches and asked them to create the summons for them yet. If they're going to end up in Cliff's little gated community in his little house in Howling Hill, then I probably won't do it anyway. Actually, I guess they won't, because the ibex is not there, and Black Star is not there, and the horses aren't there. It's just the pets that are there. Okay, this is not... That wasn't working too well. The one thing about her gun... And I'm pretty sure it's a gun that does a little bit more rapid fire than the ones that she's using now. It has dogs. It's annoying waiting for her to reload her weapon. And you do the same thing if you were using the revolver type weapon. So either way, you'd have to reload. She has infinite bullets, so she doesn't have to worry about ever running out of bullets. Somewhere along the line, we unlocked that during one of the cliff quests. I have her set for lightning, by the way. I didn't change it to one of the other ones, fire or one of those. Okay, so we're gonna take this one down, but we're not gonna worry about all of the structures. One of the things I discovered is that you don't need to destroy all of the structures to get to 100%. You just need to take care of the enemies, and then you'll go to that magical cutscene where the place is all clear and new people are there and all that good stuff. So again, you don't know that when you're playing as Cliff the first time you do these types of quests. I'm gonna switch to Twisted Verdict, which is her most powerful weapon. And we're gonna switch these out when we get to we may switch them out in this area. We'll see. We're eventually gonna switch them out to an electricity-based weapon.
I'm getting dumber just
The guy says he's getting dumber just looking at Damiane. Wow. Yeah, the tree's getting in the way is a bit of a pain. Got a ton of these giant enemies around here. will eventually edit some of this out, just so that you guys won't have to watch an hour of me fighting my way through a camp. But I do want to showcase some of her skills, as long as I don't get stuck doing the same thing like I do with Cliff. R1, R2, you know, those kinds of things. She does have other moves. And because she inherits, you know, Cliff's base stats in terms of stamina, spirit, and health, at this point she's pretty beefy. Definitely not as fragile as she was when I played as her in game. In terms of food consumption, as you can see, just like Cliff, she consumes food in order to regain health. But the thing about her is that at this stage of the game, you know, she has a bigger health pool. She does have the regeneration, health regeneration on, I don't remember whether it's on her boots or her gloves or what. It's on one of these items. Maybe it's the earrings. So let's upgrade some of this stuff since we have artifacts to spend. Sword Flurry we can try. Piercing Light. Yeah, one of the things that happens when you're playing, especially in a situation where you're fighting a mob of people, you tend to, like that didn't even kill him. You tend to do the things that are easier to get used to, because remember early in the game there was such a struggle with the controls because they're just so different than other games. And it's the same, sometimes it's the same input to do 2 or 3 different things. Even now that still happens. So for instance, if you want to use your Axion grip to grab something, if you're close to the end of to the edge of a ledge, it basically tells Cliff to hang off the ledge. I've had that experience up in at the Nexus gates in the Abyss, because there are times when you need to do just that. You're on a floating platform and you need to grab something that's floating beyond you, and when you do that, you know, Cliff goes to the edge and just hangs off. That's not what I want you to do. So you can't stand at the edge, you need to stand a little bit away from it in order to make that happen. But at this point, you know, the controls are, at least the PS5 controls are sort of mapped in my mind for this game. The next game will probably be difficult because this game will be mapped in my head.
You've been asking for this.
Okay, so I switched to this electric spear that I found in my inventory. Eventually I'm going to switch to an electro sword, which I got from a boss fight. But this seems to truly melt the enemies. And there is a cooldown, as you can see in the HUD. I mean, you can use it just as a regular weapon too, but there's a cooldown before you can use the electric part. You see the little hand going around.
You're slow in more ways than one.
Just use it so it has to cool down again. And it even melts the big enemies. That's why I switched to it. Actually, you know, it's interesting. I don't know whether she has nature's snare. She might. It would have been helpful, these guys shooting arrows at me and nicking away at my health. Okay. So that weapon must have been one of those weapons that had a durability, because it's gone now. So she's using her fists, which we're not going to continue to do because... okay, and Casey's running around picking things up and inventory is full. Alright, let's see what we're going to switch to. This is the electro weapon. This one does not have durability. It's the nature of this weapon, so you don't have to worry about it breaking. And Cliff could have used this as well. This is not unique to Damiane. This is one of those ones that actually Cliff found fighting a boss, or maybe it was a reward for beating the particular boss, and he just never used it because Darkbringer became our favorite, and we just stuck with that. But one of the things, I think it's probably, I will likely upgrade her armor and refine her armor and all that good stuff before I stop playing as her. I may not show it, but I definitely will do it because I'm not sure when and what the DLC holds, and whether or not, you know, the characters as they are now will be ported in, or whether or not, you know, they'll have some unique things that you can unlock. I'm assuming that however they end, you keep everything you have. So it would make sense to sort of level her up a little bit in terms of refining her gear. And I'll do the same thing with Unke. I still haven't given him his flying jetpack thing that, you know, Cliff got sent on this long-ass quest yet. I still haven't gotten it to him because I haven't played as him. I guess it'll be in his, since we share an inventory, it'll be in his inventory when we're ready to play as him again. So we'll get to see how it works. We'll get to see him fly. But for now, we're doing Damiane. That's, she can be hurt by her own lightning? Huh. That's interesting. And because this is a re-blockaded area, the enemy is in both instances, this one and the next one that I showed you guys, will be enemies that we fought before. So maybe it would have been good to do this in-game. I don't know. I keep saying that, but that's not necessarily true. And you can't have the experience of saying, I want to play the entire game as one character or the other. Not even Cliff, because there are Damiane-specific quests in the main quest. And, of course, the majority of the main quest are Cliff-related quests. So even if you wanted to play as Damiane more, in terms of clearing some of the areas, you probably could, but in terms of some of the major quests, you can't. Yeah, I'm never going to reach her little milestone for unlocking some of the sealed artifacts for her. I have tons of them for all of the characters. Oops, I'm stuck on the... Yeah, the electricity stuff is one-shotting a lot of these guys. This one's tough, wow. Although he wasn't taking a direct hit. Or he wasn't taking a charged hit. And that's a charged hit. So the charged hit seems to one-shot them.
Making you work for it, eh?
Okay, we're getting close to the boss, because we have, like, what is it, 1% left?
You're finished!
This guy's walking around wearing something that looks like Thor's helmet or Hawkman's helmet. It looks more like Hawkman than Thor. Well, you would think these shots would one-shot these guys, right? But it doesn't. It just get up. It's a little bit like the arrows that I've used with Cliff. Even though I've maxed out my bow, unless you, well, I guess she could technically, I don't know whether you can imbue bullets. I mean, Cliff could certainly imbue arrows, right? The ice arrows and fire arrows are my one-shot go-to. There's got to be something like that with Damiane as well.
Pathetic you are!
Like, I'm just trying to get to your boss at this point because I've cleared out 100% of your... Oh, okay, the boss is in there. Is he in here? No, he's not in here.
Making you work for it, eh?
He's in here somewhere.
You are so small!
Well, you know, I guess the other thing I could have done, and probably should have done, and might do, is... This is just adding another goal to my list of goals, is that go back to the menu and look at... look for the bosses I have not faced, because there are a few. There's some areas where I've gotten all of them, like 7 of 7 in Crimson Desert, 11 of 11 in another area. But in Hernand, I think there's one I haven't found, and there are a couple of other areas, maybe Payloon and one other area, that there are still bosses left to be found. So if I'm strategic, I could showcase a boss that I haven't faced before as Damiane and one as Unka at some point later. So I might do that if I find my bosses. And so one of my goals is to find all 75 bosses in a game. So I haven't done that yet. This is the boss right here. He's not immune to electricity, but you're gonna have to keep hitting him with the charge shots to kill him, because he's apparently has a health pool that I can't see. In the original fight with him, obviously we could see it. In this, and he didn't look like this. So while he's stun locked, just keep hitting him. That did it. And that should end this fight. Yeah, so I've fought Who was it that I fought? I fought Ludwig. Obviously, in game you fight Ludwig more than once, but I got to the point where you can actually refight him again if you want to, and I did that, and I couldn't beat him again, so that was a little frustrating. So I haven't been refighting a lot of the guys that I fought already, and you'll see it pop up in this instance as well. You'll be able to go and fight this guy again, although I don't know why you would want to. Although I will say that now that all of these characters, Cliff, Damiane, and Unka, are all stronger than they were, it might not be as difficult to fight. And she wasn't even at full. She was never at full health. I mean, when we started this camp, she was, and then as we worked our way through the 1,000 people in this camp, we weren't in full health, and we never got back to full health. And yet we were able to survive. This is the fight. Brady Goo. I don't remember fighting a Brady. Maybe I just didn't know his name. Or it could have been early, since this is in Hernand. So it could have been one of the early battles. Okay, so I'm going to show one more, and then we'll wrap up with Damiane's episode. So we're at Fort Warspike. This one I remember. We're going to go with our electro sword again. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Jeez, dude.
Not good
Give me
enough.
get situated. He just started wailing on me. Buddy, I was trying to get in and get my commentary together. In between, we went back to Howling Hill so that we can offload some of this stuff so that Casey can do a little bit more scrounging.
I'll grind you to dust.
I will say that the developers got the physics right. When you hit these guys, they go flying into the side of a cliff. I love it.
You're dead. This is hideous.
That's a stab move. Seems to work better on these guys. Although I guess these are regular sized people, and the other ones were a lot of the giant guys. Yeah, I really would like to see this weapon used against a true boss. Not one of these replay the area bosses. So I'm making a note to do just that. So I think there may be 5 total bosses in the game that I have not found yet. So I'm going to try to, unless it requires Cliff. I mean, that's a possibility, but if it doesn't, then I may split up and in those final bosses try to rotate. Do one as Cliff, one as Unka, and one as Damiane until we complete all of the remaining bosses in the game. I think that's a little bit fairer in terms of looking at their skills.
I can reach it if you move.
I don't know why I didn't think of that before. Or maybe because I thought once I cleared all the red stuff off the map that there were no bosses left for me to kill. But when I went to my menu and I did a little search around, I found that, no, I'm missing 2 in Hernand, and I'm not sure where they are unless they're locked behind some other quest. And they could be. One of those wolf ones was locked behind another quest or another quest line. It wasn't one that was obvious. A couple of those are like that. The hyena was like that as well. I mean, you talk to a villager, and the villager says, "This thing has been threatening us. Could you help us?" And then it turns out that it's a boss. And so I think that when I look at it from that particular standpoint, I can see how I would have missed them, because I know there's some NPCs I haven't talked to yet. And remember, at the end of the main game, we discovered Varnia. We had no quest in Varnia the entire game. So maybe a couple of those bosses are locked over there as well. I mean, it's sort of a vast deserty area with its own oasis and stuff like that. All right, let me just get back to this. So this boss is the one that had was annoying because he was just firing. This guy was firing a gun. This is Stephen Langford's adopted son. Ouch. And he was really annoying because of the guns. And he's a lot faster than Damiane with his guns. There he is right there. Okay, so we need to go down there and fight him. Being up here is not working. So we're going to use the same strategy we used for the last boss, and that is we're going to hit him, and then we're going to just electrocute him. He is, I guess it's a shotgun. So we're just going to keep doing this. We're not going to give him a chance to, although we did that time, because this sort of stuns him a little bit. Just keep doing this over and over again. Okay, that did it. And so the fight's over. That was easy. So I am going to use that strategy of whatever remaining bosses are in a game, I'm going to rotate around. We'll start with Cliff, then we'll go to Damiane, then we'll go to Unka, and then we'll go back to Cliff. So I don't know how it will end. That's after the Unka episode, which is the episode after this one. But after that, we will go with that process while I work my way through the Abyss Gates. Or the Abyss Nexus Gates, whatever you call them. Like I said, I'm on 30 of 40, so I have 10 more to go. I'm stuck on one, actually. That's the holdup. Is this one riddle gate where you have to fly through these different rings, and I keep not doing it fast enough, and the rings collapse, and you have to start all over again. Anyway, so with that, we're going to wrap this episode up. A short episode. The Unka episode will likely be about the same length. I just wanted to showcase some of their skills. I'm not very good at playing as either of these two because I haven't during the whole game. So we're going to end over at our little castle. Casey, say hello to your brothers. Hey, doggies. Okay, we're going to go in and we're going to offload some stuff. I certainly hope this cooler and the other stuff move with me. I know the garden stuff does not when we move to Payload, but I hope this stuff does because there's plenty of it. And somehow I keep getting a lot of food, so I don't even have to go buy it anymore. I don't remember when that started happening, but I would find food in my locker, and I would just move it to this fridge. And so I figured I would just come back here and get it if I need it. You know, if there's a big fight coming up, and it turns out that I never needed it because in my inventory, I would also end up with food. Now, it could be that the dog is looting and he's finding it and I'm just not paying attention to what he's finding. So anyway, this is Reg with PaxAriaGaming. Thanking you guys again for joining me on this journey. We are nearing the end of this journey, but bear with me for another couple of weeks. so we can get through Unka's episode and I can finish those Abyss gates and show you the true ending of the game. So thanks a lot for joining me. If you like this video, hit the like button. And I will see you in the next episode. Also, I did my very first short ever. You can find that on my channel. It is the Cliff versus Umbra fight. It's short, so it's not the whole fight. If you want to see the whole fight, go to that final episode of the main game. All right, thanks. Talk to you guys soon. Take care. Bye.